Thank you all for being here. I'm Athena Ali, the Get Notice coach. Thank you for joining me live today in the Public Service Careers Australia group. Now, I'm a career coach and strategist and a government job application specialist. Now, today I'm talking about, will a public service role bring you security and certainty? You know, most people think that public service roles are very secure, but are they as secure and as certain, as you think? Now, I will talk about, if you do want security and certainty in your career, public service roles are definitely a good way to go, but also talk about what it really takes to stay in the public sector for as long as some people have. Now, no job is guaranteed for life, and there is a perception that a public service job is a career for life, and it can be, but it's certainly not definite. Okay, and it's not for life anymore. And I guess if that's really your expectation, that you will be in a secure public service role, not having to expand yourself and grow, then maybe the sector isn't for you, because the public sector really is one, particularly now, that's transforming, that really is needing people who can grow and who can change with the times and the technologies. So it is actually really important that if you want security and certainty in your career, that you have a growth mindset wherever you go. Now, as I said, there is this big perception in the public sector that a job is for life, or that they can't get rid of you. And whilst it might not be as easy, there are still processes you still have to go through regardless. And it shouldn't be, security shouldn't be the only reason you apply for a public service role. And I guess it's the same as money. You shouldn't only apply for a role because you want money, because as we all know, money doesn't always make you happy, and sometimes thinking that your job is secure also doesn't make you happy. There always needs to be satisfaction in your actual job, whether it accords with your values or making a difference or whatever that might be for you. But money or security of that money shouldn't be the only reason that you apply for a public service role. There certainly should definitely be something more than that draws you to the public service. Otherwise, you'll probably find that your role won't be secure and it won't be certain either. Okay, because it just won't bring you happiness, and it's either you'll go, or just like in any other job, they might want you to go. But I guess what's important, as I said, is that you enjoy your job, that you enjoy serving others, because really that's what the public service is about. And this is the biggest factor in whether you will be secure in your role or not. The higher the satisfaction you have in your role and that you love your role, the less likely you're going to want to move, but also the less likely that they're going to want you to move, because you're going to always be working really productively. You're always going to want to be there. You're going to work to your highest values. And as a result, it's a win-win for everybody. Okay, so if you want security in your job, start there. Okay. There are, though, three key things that I see in people that tend to have much longer careers in the public service. And these three things help with job security. Okay, so the first thing is don't just do what's in your job description. Yes, I know we have job descriptions to give us, what we're meant to be doing every day in our role. But those who seek out extra assignments or find themselves on extra panels or committees, or helping out with perhaps new infrastructure that's coming to the department and really participating, those people will find themselves in a position to be able to speak to higher roles when those roles become available, because it's really hard to say you've got experience in something when you don't have experience in it. And the only way to get that experience, whether it's inside the organisation or outside of it, is to volunteer to some capacity. Now, at some point, if you want to be a manager, you're going to have to show people that you can manage people, and you can't do that if your current role doesn't allow you to do that. So in order to do that, there may be some projects where you can lead people. You have to be able to start providing examples where you have led people. If you don't have those examples, you won't be able to meet the criteria for that next role that you want to apply for. So if you can demonstrate the experience, you can apply for the role. And the other thing is when you do that, you also become visible. So when you become visible, you'll be remembered. And when you do apply for roles, you'll be remembered as the person that put their hand up and helped and you know, did something outside of their job description. You show them that you are keen to move on, that you are keen to do something else. You shouldn't fear not being paid for doing something extra, because at the end of the day, there are so many other people outside the public service who do volunteer in order to get experience to land their next role. So why can't you do that at work, where you actually do have the opportunities where they probably wouldn't say no? Whereas if you go outside the organisation, you may have to literally apply for another position to volunteer. So doing it this way makes it easier, because you already have access to people who are likely to say yes if you're willing to do that extra work. The second thing is make sure you meet all your deadlines and be really reliable. People who are in secure roles or stay really long in their roles are usually people who always meet their deadlines, are really, really reliable. So if you can get your projects done on time or within budget, then you're more likely to be the person that's kept on. You know, you'll find that your job will be a lot more secure for that reason. Exceeding expectations and always meeting your KPIs means there's never any reason for anyone not to want you around. So when your results are reliable, your tenure is longer as well. So people then trust your capabilities, your skills, and they know that you'll do what you'll say you do. And this also speaks very much to the public service value of trust. So when you're reliable, when you're someone that meets your KPIs or exceeds them particularly, people trust that you will be able to do the role. Okay, and the third thing that I find people who have really secure roles in the public service is usually people who have great stakeholder management, engagement type skills. So basically people who are able to build relationships with people. So the person that can get along with anyone or be in a position to influence and negotiate the best is likely to be a keeper. We don't want necessarily people who are always disagreeing with everything. And it doesn't mean you have to agree with everything or you have to be friends with everybody, but it is helpful when you know how to talk to people that you don't agree with. How do you get along and how do you resolve issues with people when you don't agree on certain points, and how do you go about communicating with them? And those things make a bit, big factor in, how long you will stay anywhere. So these sorts of skills, if you possess them, being able to negotiate or manage people and talk to people and engage people, if you're the type of person that's really good at that, you'll be invaluable in a public service role, because you have to talk to people all day, whether it's people in your department, whether it's ministers, whether it's councillors, whether it's, people outside the organisation, community consultations or project consultants and all that kind of thing. So the more groups of people that you can engage and communicate with and be able to resolve issues with, the more likely you're going to hang around in the public service, because it is a public role. Even if your role is internal, you still have a lot of people you need to speak with. So today, my thoughts around, I guess, how secure is your public service career is that no career is secure ever. But if you want to make your tenure longer than shorter, then those key three things will help you stay in the public service longer. And having a growth mindset really is the key to being secure in any role. Okay, so that's the end of my live today on whether a public service career is secure or not. Now, if you'd like my 6 proven steps on how to get unstuck and land a public service career, I'll pop a link down below for you to download that once this live broadcast ends. And if you'd like to book a chat with me, just DM me or message me through my page, or even leave a comment down below. Thank you for listening in today, and I hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.